the webinar registration page that fills every seat. Your registration page has one job: get the right people to show up excited. Here's the exact structure that does it. Everyone obsesses over the webinar itself. The slides, the pitch, the big reveal at minute 42. Almost nobody obsesses over the page that gets people to click register in the first place, which is strange, because that page is doing the hardest job in the entire funnel. It has to convince a stranger to block off an hour of their calendar for something that doesn't exist yet. Get that page wrong, and you'll spend all week promoting to an audience that half shows, half cares, and mostly lurks in the chat without buying anything. Get it right, and you walk into your own webinar with a room full of people who already raised their hand, already told you their problem, and are already primed to buy the moment you open the cart. This is a teardown of that page, not the content of the webinar, not the pitch, just the registration and reminder mechanics that separate a 12% show-up rate from a 45% one. The headline: Promise one transformation, not a topic. Most webinar registration pages fail before a single word of body copy gets read, because the headline describes a topic instead of a transformation. A training on email marketing tells nobody why they should care. How I grew my list from 200 to 4,000 in 90 days without paid ads tells everybody exactly what they're getting and exactly who it's for. Specificity is what makes a stranger stop scrolling. A number, a time frame, and a clear before-after. If your webinar teaches a process, name the outcome of the process, not the process itself. The 3-step framework I use to book my first 10 coaching clients will always beat coaching business basics, because the first one lets a reader instantly picture themselves in the after photo. Quick test. Read your headline out loud and ask, could this headline describe literally any webinar in your niche? If yes, it's too generic. Add a number, a time frame, or a named obstacle until it could only describe yours. Custom fields. Turn registration into pre-qualification. This is the part almost every creator skips, and it's the single highest leverage lever on the whole page. A bare-bones registration form asks for name and email. A smart one asks 2 or 3 custom questions that do double duty. They filter for serious registrants, and they hand you a live transcript of your audience's exact language before you ever open your mouth. Store.fan's checkout supports custom fields on any product, including webinars, so you can add a short qualifying question right in the registration flow. No separate survey tool, no extra step for the registrant. Good questions are short, specific, and give you ammunition for the live pitch. Something like, what's the thing stopping you from outcome right now? Turns a passive sign-up into an active commitment. People who type out their own obstacle in a text box are far more invested than people who just tapped a button. And when you open the webinar with "a lot of you told me your biggest blocker is X," the room feels like you built the training specifically for them. Because in a real sense, you just proved you did. Show up rate lives or dies in the reminder sequence. Here's the uncomfortable truth. The average webinar show-up rate hovers somewhere around 30 to 40%, even for well-run promotions. And the single biggest variable inside your control isn't the topic or the speaker. It's the reminder cadence between registration and the live event. People register with good intentions on a Tuesday and forget entirely by Thursday. Your job is to make forgetting impossible. That means a confirmation email the instant they register, a value-add reminder 24 hours out, a starting soon nudge 1 hour before, and a "we're live right now" message the moment doors open. 4 touches, each with a different job: confirm, remind, create urgency, and interrupt. Instant confirmation. Deliver the calendar link and set expectations for what they'll learn. This doubles as your first chance to sell the value again. 24-hour out reminder. Lead with one useful tip or teaser insight, not just "don't forget." Give them a reason to be excited, not just informed. 1 hour out reminder. Short, urgent, mobile-friendly. Most last-minute opens happen on a phone between other tasks. Go live message. Sent the minute you start. For the inevitable chunk of people who forgot until the exact moment it began. Store.fan's broadcast and campaign email tools let you build this exact sequence around a webinar product without stitching together 3 different apps. The same customer list that captured registrations can receive the reminder emails. And because delivery is automatic and instant, nobody is stuck guessing whether their registration actually went through. A registration page's job isn't to describe your webinar. It's to make skipping it feel like a mistake. Price, free, or paid to attend. Free webinars get more registrants and worse show-up rates. A small paid ticket, even just a few dollars, filters out the tire kickers and reliably produces 70% plus attendance. Because money changes psychology. People show up for what they paid for. If your goal is list growth and top-of-funnel reach, free is fine. Just budget for the lower attendance in your reminder strategy. If your goal is a room full of buyers ready to purchase a higher ticket offer at the end, a small paid ticket does real work as a qualifier, and it's simple to set up as a normal product in your store, using the same checkout and instant delivery you'd use for any digital download or course. Headline names a specific, numbered outcome, not a general topic. Subheadline states who it's for and who it's not for. 1 or 2 custom fields ask about the registrant's biggest obstacle. Date time shown in a way that's unmistakable across time zones. Confirmation email fires instantly with calendar details. 24-hour, 1 hour, and go live reminder emails are drafted and scheduled. A single clear reason is given for why they should attend live, bonus, live Q&A, limited replay. Page links back to a real example or your main store so curious visitors can see who's behind it. Building it without stitching together 5 tools. The temptation is to run registration on one platform, reminders through a separate email tool, and the actual store somewhere else entirely, which multiplies the chances something breaks between steps. A simpler approach. Build the webinar as a product on your store. Fan storefront. Add your qualifying custom fields at checkout, and let the built-in customer list and broadcast emails handle the reminder sequence automatically. Because payments connect straight to your own Stripe or PayPal account, there's no separate payout step to manage even if you're charging for the seat. If you haven't set this up yet, you can create your store and have a registration page live in under 15 minutes. Check a live example store to see how a real creator structures products, custom fields, and reminders in one place. After the room fills, what to do with the data. Every custom field answer you collected during registration is reusable long after the webinar ends. Segment your customer list by the obstacle registrants named, and send different follow-up offers to each segment. Someone who said, "I don't have an audience yet" needs a different pitch than someone who said, "I have an audience but nothing converts." This is exactly the kind of targeting that separates a one-off webinar from a repeatable monthly engine. And it's also where a pro plan earns its keep, since deeper analytics and unlimited campaign sends let you see which segment actually turned into paying customers, not just which one showed up. The webinar itself matters, obviously. Nobody's arguing you can skip preparing great content. But the page that gets people through the door is a completely separate skill, and it's one most creators never deliberately practice. Treat your registration page the way you'd treat a checkout page for your best-selling product. Worth testing headlines on, worth adding a qualifying question to, worth building a real reminder sequence around. Do that consistently, and you stop hoping people show up. You start filling the room on purpose, every single time. Key takeaways. A registration page's real job is qualification, not just collection. The headline and custom fields should filter for people who actually have the problem you solve. Show-up rate is won or lost in the 48 hours between registration and the live event. almost entirely through reminder emails and calendar friction. One sharp, specific promise beats a vague free training every time. How to plus a number plus a time frame outperforms generic hype headlines. Custom checkout fields aren't busywork. They're free market research that lets you tailor your pitch to the exact objections your registrants already told you they have. The registration page and the reminder sequence are really one system. A store.fan page can hold both if you treat delivery emails as part of the pitch, not an afterthought. Start your creator store free at store.fan.